Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Train Man, and welcome back to the weekly timetable for the week of April 19th, 2015. We are one day away from 420, blaze it. Hitler's birthday, I just found out. I don't know what kind of coincidence that makes it. You know, it does make me wonder why 420 is, so... It's so big among pot smokers and the like. I don't know the history of it. Maybe I should go do some research. Anyways, I'm sure it has nothing to do with Hitler. Anyways, also having nothing to do with Hitler is the 5 videos this week, six in a podcast this week, starting on Monday with the Minecraft episode, Simulation Protocol Overload episode 26, Reserve Stuff, alternatively titled, I'm on a Pillar. So, at the end of last episode, there was a lot of dying, and some of the stuff was very unrecoverable because of lava. So, we finally get to the area. John was the only one that survived. We finally get there. There's bugger all in terms of stuff for Chris and I. Chris gets some of the good stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll pick up the leftovers. I end up with 2 pieces of armor and, like, a wooden sword. So, we make the decision to continue onwards instead of going back for supplies. Makes for an episode where John is somehow the most powerful person there. And that leads to some interesting consequences for the group. I, however, end up kiting a lot of zombies with swords and skeleton heads, and they follow me, and the bats protect them, and my only escape at this point is just to get somewhere where they can't hit me, and that happens to be up. So that's my excellent tactics in the heat of battle. I don't have a problem with bats, but these bats are, well, they're protecting the things that are coming at me.
Oh, the bats are?
Yeah. I'm in trouble. Hey guys.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Yeah. Hi.
If we had TNT, that would be nice right now.
It would be, but it got consumed in lava.
How much did you have on you?
I think 7 after that other room.
Well, it's not that much.
On Tuesday, we had Tramman Plays Tresor's Locomotion, episode 176, entitled Basic System Done. It's really more of a statement than an interesting title, but the point of the fact is we've gotten all the trains built that we need. Probably not need to complete the scenario in a short amount of time, but that we need in total to make sure that everything gets done. It's finished in the sense that all of the cargo that needs to be transported is transported, but not in the quantities that we need it to be transported. So the episode from there on out largely works on stabilizing production and getting our supply lines worked out. Get all the kinks sorted out of our supply lines, which they still have plenty of those. And that ends up being exactly what the next episode will entail, and further episodes down the line, because that's all we have to do now. Working out supply lines, getting things produced in a timely manner. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try them in sets of 2 now. First car on this is a steel car. Okay, let's finish this road here. So you guys get what I'm going for. On Wednesday, we had Homeworld Remastered Episode 7, Homeworld Hates Me. This is a little bit of a scathing title towards a mission that was... Wow, that was a mission. You know, a very bad mission. Not bad in the terms that it was badly written or badly executed or anything, but the tactical decisions I made were very subpar. And my excuse for that is I just didn't know. I didn't know all of the variables. I didn't know everything at play there. And, of course, going into a level like that, you aren't going to know. So, I assume the game... we came out of levels where we get a lot of resources, and we ended up spending them here, which is probably how it was set up. I can tell the game knew we would kind of fall into these traps. So, you know, some of the things could have been done better. We could have rescued a lot more of our fleet, but it's the kind of thing where I made the best decisions I could based on the things that I knew were, you know, in play, at stake. So, I don't think this reflects on me badly as a commander. I think it reflects on we just simply got outfoxed by the game.
Copies. Group 4.
We've determined that the alien control field...
Whoa, where did they come from?
No capital ship should cross into this zone or we'll lose them.
Are you effing kidding me? Why would you tell me that now?
Standing by. Target acquired.
Alright, so we can't send capital ships over there. On Thursday, we had the Zombie Train episode 118 map merging. Now, this is something I don't think we've ever done on camera, because I really didn't do a lot of separate portions of maps. I don't think I ever have. Geiger Mountains was one big chunk. The Temerals Vale and Anaconda was one big chunk. But what I've been working on right now is just a piece of something larger, and I was working on it separately just to keep the other stuff kind of out of my hair for now, because it was still being edited towards the beginning of our work. But now it's time to bring everything together, so this episode is based around finishing up the terrain that we didn't do and connecting it to the other parts of the map, and then setting down the baseboards for our terraining between then and there. Between Worcester and Providence, to use the actual town names. The towns, of course, need a lot more development, but we have all the ground in place. Never merged route before. This is how you do it. You bring the thing in, and then you have both of the routes, one on top of the other. And I left a little marker block there. I already measured out where this has to be. I left a little marker block there in the middle of nowhere, and I just have to line it up with below where it says WO. So right about there. And I go into the... obviously, the tracks are never going to touch that block, but that's not what matters. The block was just scaffolding. I have to merge the region layers, the route layers, and right now I just did a little experiment. I wasn't sure. Nudge it up, nudge it down, check, check, and then check. And now we have this attached to the narrow gauge. On Friday, we had Train Man's Fever, episode 33, Taking Out Loans. Now, this is something I don't normally do. You guys have seen me play Train Fever, you've seen me play Locomotion. Especially Locomotion is the best example of this. In Locomotion, I never take out a loan. I get the one that we start with, and that's it. I pay it off as soon as I can, or as soon as I remember to, and that's it. I don't buy it. I don't get another loan. So it's odd in Train Fever to see me reaching into the bank for bits of, you know, 400k not deposits, but, you know, loans every once in a while. And in this episode, I do it more than I have in recent memory. Just because I've run into a couple of scenarios where it's like, oh, well, you know, I really think I should pick up 100k to help me finish this project, or I really need 100k right now to finish this project, because if I don't, it'll get in the way of other things. Locomotion doesn't involve too much of tearing up things you've already built and replacing them immediately, because you can't build in the pause menu, so that doesn't matter as much. You learn to sort of work around what you already have, but Train Fever, because you can edit the landscape in the pause menu, it kind of encourages these kind of, okay, we have this much in the bank account, let's pause so we don't have any trains in our way, and get all this work done as much as we can. I wasn't able to finish the project there, so I had to go to the bank. How much is this station? How much is it to bulldoze the station? 18k. And to build the new station, it'll be 130. We should be plenty good. However, we did just lose a lot of people. Okay. That's what I was afraid of. Can we put it now? Aside from the fact that we can't afford it, we can in fact place it. So I'm just going to real quick borrow 100k and I'll pay it back shortly. Alright, good. Get off the crossover so I can fix the rest of it. On Saturday, we had Space Engineers episode 37, The Hijacking. Now, this is something I've done, but I don't think I've ever done it on camera yet, and it's the running up to the mining carriage and circumventing, getting around the gun, and stealing it and bringing it home. It's not the only thing we do this episode, but it's the most entertaining thing we do this episode, and that's why that's what the clip is featuring. Milky's still having problems, Achilles is doing work, which is very good. TBA is still lost in space somewhere. And we get this thing back, and I start editing the, the little DSN shuttle that we made, or that we ran into last episode, to be a sort of utility ship, and I'm waiting to see what TBA thinks of it, because it's an absolute mess right now. Right, because I'm a dude. That's right,
I'm doing.
I screwed up.
So I don't think there's anything wrong externally with the Hyperion. Now I'm gonna look internally. See what's up.
Okay, I'm making my way towards the mining carriage.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong externally with the Hyperion, but I'm gonna check inside, do a quick system check.
And then finally we had the podcast. Episode 25, Replacement TJ Strikes Back. This is, well, it's an interesting podcast, and Weibo disappears for most of the discussion, which is kind of unfortunate, because there were a lot of discussion topics in the news, and he just wasn't there for them. So it wasn't as long as it could have been, is really my point. You guys got lucky. And we've got Replacement TJ, we've got Jader, referred to as Jader this time, magically, amazingly, doing his jurisdictions and his stuff. And next episode is actually the anniversary, so you should check that out. Things are going to change a little bit. Not so much. You think we're going to get professional? Not a chance. Anyways, check out the podcast, only an hour 45 on that one. The other big news this week is I finished a book. Writing one. Go me, right? So, it's something I've been working on for a while, Sorcerer's Daughter. I'm sure I've mentioned it on the Admiral Ellis channel a while back, but I haven't touched that in quite some time. I will post the link down in the description if you want to read the first draft of it, but be forewarned, it needs proofreading. I went through it, and the last 20 pages I wrote in about one sitting, so it's a little bit at some points, and even right at the beginning, because that part is so old. I've honestly learned a lot since I started the book, and that's just how it always is. But I need to go back and tweak the beginning as well, and, of course go through and weed out all the grammatical errors, because a perfect first draft is not an unattainable goal, but it's a rare thing to have, and this isn't it. So, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next week. Try man out.